Memories, the diary we all carry about
Study of
within us.
memory has been a subject of science and philosophy for many, many years. Over the period of time, it has become one major topic of interest within psychology. Our memory helps makes us who we are. From recollecting childhood experiences to remember where we left our keys, memory plays a vital role in our lives. It provides us with a sense of self. It is just like recording experiences, but a bit more complex, and as we all know, it is not a flawless process. We all tend to forget various things at various times. Now, Miss Navreet will pick up the threads, unraveling the mysteries of memory.
Human memory, how we make, remember, and forget memories. From the time of our birth, our brain is bombarded with immense amount of information about ourselves and the world around us. So, how do we hold on to everything that we have learned or experienced? Memories. Humans retain memory for different lengths of time. Short term memories last from seconds to hours, and long term memories last up till years. We also have a working memory. For example, you're saying a phone number to yourself over and over again, then that's the working memory at function. Another way to categorize memory is on the basis of the subject of memory itself, whether we consciously know it or not, like the declarative memory. It is also known as the explicit memory and usually consists of what we consciously know. For example, we know that the capital of India is Delhi, or the number of the cards in the standard deck of cards is 52. Another type of memory is a non declarative memory. This is the memory that builds up unconsciously and also known as the implicit memory. It generally helps our body to remember all those skills that we have learned so far. For example, we are trying to learn to play a piano or a guitar, or learning to drive a car, or riding a bicycle. So these are the examples of the procedural memories which include the non-declarative memory. Non-declarative memory actually shapes our body's unthinking responses. For example, salivating at the sight of the food is also example of non-declarative memory. Non-declarative memory is usually difficult to build than declarative memory. For example, trying to learn a capital of some country is easier than learning to drive. But non declarative memories stick more easily. Once you have learned how to drive a car, you are less likely to forget it. In the same vein, we have amnesia. To understand how we remember things, it's incredibly helpful to study how we forget. Which is why our neuroscientists they study amnesia. Amnesia is the ability to learn or the loss of the memories. It is usually due to a bad injury, a stroke, or a brain tumor. There are two types of amnesia: anterograde amnesia and retrograde amnesia. Now, Mr. Sukhdeep will elaborate on the types of amnesia and the studies related to this topic.
By studying people such as HR as well as different animals with different types of brain damage, scientists can trace where and how different kind of memories form in the brain. It seems that short-term and long-term memories don't form in the exactly same way, nor do declarative and procedural memories. There is no one place within the brain that holds up all your memories. Different areas of the brain form and store different kind of memories, and different processes may play for each other. For instance, emotional responses such as fear reside in the brain region called amygdala. Memories of the skills you have learned are associated with a different region called striatum. A region called hippocampus is crucial for forming, retaining, and recalling declarative memories. The temporal lobes, the brain regions that HM was partially missing, plays a crucial role in forming and recalling memories. Now, let's proceed further.
How memories are stored, formed, and recalled. Since 1940, scientists have surmised that the memories are held within a group of nerve cells or the neurons and are called as cell assemblies. These interconnected cells they fire as a group in response to a specific stimulus, be it your friend's face or the smell of a freshly baked bread. The more the neurons are fired together, the more the cell's interconnections are strengthened. In a similar way, if a future stimulus triggers the cells, it is more likely the whole assembly fires. For the short term memory to become the long term memory, It goes through a process called as memory consolidation. All the animals that have long-term memories, they use this basic cellular machinery, and this has been researched by studying the Californian sea slugs. However, all the long-term memories need not to start as short-term memories. So scientists are still working through the details of how it works.